Well, this is number 5 of the Astral Projection series, and of course you can do these out of context, but just to let you know that this is kind of building to this moment, I'd love for you to go find a really comfortable place, listen to the quiet music in the background on this particular video, and just get yourself as comfortable as you possibly can with your eyes closed. And this is not going to be a long process, so we're not going to go through a deepening process that makes you go into a very, very deep hypnagogic state because of a long, slow, drawn-out process. But instead, with your breath, gentle, full, relieved, relaxed. Take those breaths in as if you were taking in a wonderful, wonderful experience of fresh air, and that you're just oxygenating every cell in your body and celebrating that it is all part of you, and that this entire cosmos is part of you too, because you can now venture into connecting to it with astral projection and any other form of spiritual journey, soul journey. And you can see more about this on souljourney.com. Okay, so now that you're relaxed and you've got this all positioned so you're comfortable, close your eyes. You're not going to see anything just yet other than behind your lids. Won't that be great? Close your eyes and continue to take a deep breath and just enjoy yourself. Now I want you to go and imagine that you have a purpose for traveling, because we find that having a purpose, a place to go, whether it's your curiosity, your urge to heal something, your urge to understand, your adventurous disposition, or your wish to connect with someone or something, is really a powerful way of helping you move your whole self into the process of traveling. Isn't that nice? So I would like you to come with a purpose. So search for a moment. What is my purpose in wanting to travel today in this moment? I'm curious. Okay, now beyond curiosity, where would you like to go and why? Just choose something. Don't make it big. Don't make it huge. Just where would I like to go and why? Where do I want to go and why? Where do I want to go and why? And just land on some place and land on some reason. And now would you please say that place and reason to yourself 3 times. I want to go here because. I want to go here because. I want to go here because. And as you say it the 3rd time, just settle into it and now enjoy it. Now you've already practiced, if you've listened to the different sequences before this, the experience of what it's like to go in your body and out of your body physically. So let's just do a quick exercise to remind you of that experience if you would like to. Here we go. I want you to take your arms, take both of them and lift them up physically. Feel the sensation of gravity, the fabric against your skin, the air against your skin, the space that you're aware of, and now put your arms down and feel how relaxed your muscles become when they're down and resting. Isn't that great? Okay, and do that physically again one more time and get the sensation of kinesthetically moving your muscles and your bones and your nerves firing off, and the feeling of gravity in the environment around your arms affecting you, and the way the rest of your body shifts, and have a mental representation of your physical shift. Okay, now put your arms down. Now you're going to go into your mental representation of your physical movement. And now imagine that you're lifting your arms up without actually doing the physical aspect of it. And in imagining lifting up your arms, go ahead and lift up your arms imaginatively. And now you're in the mental perception or representation of a physical activity. That is akin to astral projection. So now put your arms down in your imagination and make it recongruent with your physical. Just kind of reintegrate it, go and get it back into your physicality of your arms, and feel you connect your mental representation moving your arms back into your physical and mental representation of your arms. And once again, move your arms out of your physical body by moving your arms up into the air by your imagination, the mental process of it. Get as much awareness of different stimuli, sensations as you can remember from when you did it physically, and also in terms of mentally representing what those physical sensations are like. And now move your arms back down into your physical body, reconnect them, click them back into place. Experience your body in a physical way, so you're physically and mentally present with your body, and they are congruent experiences. Okay? Now, what I'm going to have you do is imagine your whole body coming up out of your chair or bed or couch, wherever you are. But now it's really just a mental representation. And I want you in that mental representation of yourself, move into another place, another room, another part of the room, and see if you can have fun going through a wall. Why not? Have the mental representation of going through a wall, feeling what it would be like, looking around. Can you see the studs, the nails, the electricity, the piping, the structure? Can you find the flaws of the carpentry? And just have fun with it, and then go to the other room. It's kind of nice to walk through something with your mental representation, as well as it begins to help you imagine having sensations that you've never had before. And that's kind of a step in the process as well. And now when you're in that room, look at all the details around as you can imagine them to be. Feel them in your bodily sensation or memory of them. Do you feel the pressure? Do you smell odors? Can you get a sense of temperature? Do you have a sense of texture, colors, shading? Is there movement? Do you hear things? There you go. Mental representation of you being in that room. And now I want you to make a mental representation of perceiving your whole being while you're perceiving the room. So now be aware if you're looking down at, up at, next to, close to, far away from. And so now you have a sense of your own personal perspective and from where you are perceiving what is around you. And do you feel like you're floating in your perception? Do you feel like you're staying stationary and moving your perceptive capacities, but not actually shifting your space, or the distance from you and other things around you? And now you have a mapping of yourself in that space, and now you have a self-consciousness of you in that space. So now take that self-consciousness of you in that space and just kind of enjoy it. Play with it, have fun with it. Wow, it's kind of fun. Move closer to something and then feel the sensation of you as being self-conscious of you, being closer to something, and the details shifting, the smells shifting, the textures popping out, or being able to experience it. Now while you're in this kind of space, I want you just to pause and say, I wanted to go to that place for that reason. And 3 times while you're in this other room, I want you to go to that feeling of yourself in that space and time in that other room, and say to yourself 3 times, I want to go to that place for that purpose that you initially said at the beginning of this. And say it 3 times. Do it again. And now do it a 3rd time. And now decide to just pop on over to that place. And just pop over. Pop over the same way you would do it with your imagination as you moved into the room. Pop over there. Begin to see and feel and smell and sense the details that are around you. Shift and look. Don't worry about whether it's your imagination or the narrative that you're creating. Just go ahead and be involving yourself in what you're aware of, what you're perceiving. Just go ahead and perceive. Perceive whatever details you can perceive from whatever senses you can sense. And don't censor it and don't wonder about it, don't care about that. You can do that later. You can be in that critical mind later. Just go ahead and be in that place and time and just sense it. There you are. Now sense it. Now you're going to go ahead and keep taking in the details of it. The people around. Are there different colors about? Do you see oranges and reds and pinks and blues? Do you see shapes that are round and rectangular, square, or strange, or other way worldly? Do you see colors you've never seen before? Do you hear sounds? Are they familiar or not familiar? Do you see shapes that are familiar or not familiar? Do you have life forms there that are familiar or not familiar? Just take it all in, play with it, don't censor it, don't be critical, don't argue with yourself on it, just perceive, just perceive. Now while you're in the middle of the perceiving, see if you can sense a sense of energy and vibration, collecting the atmosphere, the attitude, the emotions of it. There you go. Now, take a moment to perceive what you are perceiving from. Are you higher and looking down on something? Are you lower and looking up at something? Are you close to something, or are you far away from something? Now you have a spatial self-consciousness that you are perceiving from a certain spot, a certain space point. Now become aware of your space point that you're occupying from which you are perceiving. And that space that you're occupying from which you are perceiving, you now begin to have a sensation of self, a self-consciousness of self. And now shift your space or your spot. Move closer to something. Move farther away from something. Go through something and just experience it from whatever way. Now move up and see if you can float as if you're fluid. And now move down as if you land on something, as if you're solid. Now you are creating an incredible experience of self, a self-consciousness in this alternate location. Kind of fun, isn't it? And what I'd like you to do, even though you're not ready to do it, is I would like you to be able to come back and move back into a consciousness that hears the sound of my voice and knows that it's coming from your device that hears YouTube's. And here you are, you're back to the device. You're not opening your eyes or anything, but you're back in your body the same way you move back into your arms and click back into your body. Click back into body consciousness. You're shifting your space awareness into this amazing vessel, this planet called your body, with these amazing cells that are all alive and stayed alive while you were gone in terms of your perception and consciousness. And there you are, you clicked back into place. Stretch your legs, stretch your arms, keep your eyes closed, just stretch, 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 stretch. Feel temperature, hear sounds, feel textures, feel yourself moving back in. And when you're comfortable, you can open up your eyes, take a deep and wonderful breath in. Hi, welcome back to perception of this 3D life that you are currently identified with. And there's a journey. Log it. And do this as often as you can and log them. And you'll realize that as you become less skeptical, skepticism's fine. Go ahead, be skeptical. Investigate. Eventually you can actually set up tests for yourself and see if they're valid or not. And you can become more comfortable with this. You will prove it to yourself eventually. But for now, just allow yourself the process of going, coming, and realize we haven't really taken all that much time out of your day. And you may be a little bit more enlightened. And what's even more fun, if you go to some historical place where you've been or where you want to go, you might go find out some research about it. That's always kind of fun. You don't have to do that now, but if you'd like to, you can. Be an explorer, an adventurer, a scientist, and a soul journeyman. All right.